What's up, good people? Today, we are going to talk about how redefining your definition and relationship to the concept of intensity in your training sessions is going to accelerate your results in the gym forward faster than anything else you have ever tried. I'm Michael Hewitt. I am a former Strong First certified elite instructor. I hold a level 2 certification. It's the highest one that they have from Precision Nutrition. I'm a former fat kid, and I'm just over 6 feet tall, weigh 200 pounds, and I have a visible six pack. So I practice what I preach here, but I've also tried every other methodology, every other diet, every other everything when it comes to fitness on my quest to have an awesome body that complements my life without running it. And this relationship to the word and the concept of intensity, I would go so far as to say it is the single highest leveraged thing that I have ever learned or implemented on my quest to make my dream, not only my dream physique, but my dream feeling and feeling in my body and my dream relationship to my body come to life. So when most people think about the concept of intensity as it applies to a training program or to a training session, that's the dedicated meathead way of saying workout, by the way. What they think of is they think of the stereotypical CrossFit WOD, the workout of the day experience, which has a jacked up heart rate, zone 4 for most of the thing. Muscles are screaming with lactic acid. Maybe you feel like you're going to vomit somewhere during the session. Now, there's a time and a place to jack your heart rate up. There's a time and a place to redline it and almost feel like you're going to puke up your whatever you got in your stomach. Maybe you're training fasted. I don't know. That's not the way that I train 90% of the time. The way that I train 90% of the time is almost the exact opposite of that. My heart rate rarely gets out of zone 2. I almost never feel lactic acid. I never feel like I'm going to vomit. I take a ton of time in between my sets. I, knock on wood, don't experience injuries. And my physique is symmetrical. At least so says the DEXA scans that I get more or less once a month. Since moving to New York, I have not found a DEXA scan place. The place in Austin was 2 blocks away, cheap. That was nice. So the new definition of intensity that I want you to consider, we can think about defining it through a couple of frameworks. And if you adhere to these frameworks, you will find and feel this definition for yourself, which is critical because nobody knows what you are actually experiencing except for you, and you being able to describe and identify, etc. That sensation to yourself is going to be key to you implementing it, and not just implementing it, but growing to love it and know it and want to explore it and push it. So think about it like this. If I give you a training program and it says, all right, Sally, Jim, you're going to do one set of 6 reps. You are going to pick a weight and you're going to stop when you get to 6 reps. Even if you could have done 15 reps with that weight. This shows up, for example, if we see somebody doing, they've got 3 sets of 10 programmed, and they will do 3 sets of 10 at that same weight, and they'll hit all of their reps on all of their sets. What that tells me is that that first set, they probably could have gotten many more reps, 16, 17 reps, maybe 25 reps. Who knows? So we terminate the set because we have mentally conditioned ourselves. In some cases, we're like, nope, I know what 10 reps feels like. I know what 12 reps feels like. This is about when I stop. And it doesn't have to do with what we are experiencing in our bodies, the feedback that our bodies are giving us. So we might terminate a set for that reason, or we might terminate a set just because something gets lost in translation between you and whatever coach you're working with or whoever gave you that program. that says, hey, these 10 reps, this is a guideline. It's a guideline. But what's more important is that you are hitting this movement with approximately this much volume, but achieving this desired stimulus. And so this new relationship to intensity is going to help you achieve that optimal stimulus with minimal risk of injury and with all of the other benefits that you want from a workout program, right? You're not only going to be stronger, you're going to look bigger, feel stronger, be injury-free. So if, for example, we take Sally or Jim and they've got 3 sets of 10 programmed and they do first set is at, all sets are at 30 pounds. What we want to do is get them to say like, hey, if you can do all those sets, all 10 reps at that same weight, your first set, you could definitely go heavier. But before you go heavier, what I want you to do is I want you to take that weight and I want you to see the next time that you're fresh on your first set, how many could you do before you actually fail, before your body tells you we're done? That's where you might find that 16 or that 25 or whatever. That is the feeling, the sensation, the feedback from your body that we are going to base intensity off of. Because what we're going to start doing is terminating the set right before you reach that point of failure. There's a few methodologies out there that measure this in programming. This might look like on the RIR, reps in reserve, this might look like you are stopping with 1, maybe 1 or 2 RIR. On the rate of perceived exertion scale, this is going to look like about an 8. 9 and 10 is where you have to start psyching yourself up, going to a dark place, releasing some adrenaline in order to push it and make those reps happen. Again, there's a time and a place for that, just like there is with everything. But in your day-to-day training, not advisable, because that's going to increase the risk of injury, but it's also going to create more fatigue on your central nervous system, which we don't want to incur unless necessary. Let's be real. For 99.9% of us, we are just training to look good and to feel good, not because we have to be at a certain weight, a certain body fat, a certain whatever by a certain date. So that's step 1. You're going to feel what that feels like. Step 2 is then you're going to operate within these parameters. The parameters are this, or the parameters are these. You can't lift a weight so heavy that you can't do more than 3 reps with, right? So you need to be able to hit more than 4 reps with a weight. But you can't use a weight so light that you could easily blow past 10 reps. So the weight has to be heavy enough that you can do no more than 10, but more than 3 reps with the weight. And the standard here is going to be perfect reps only. Now, what is a perfect rep? And why do we only want perfect reps? A perfect rep is about more than just the structural or mechanical integrity, the shape that you make, the path that you move your body through with the weight. It's about more than that. And in fact, that's not even the most important aspect of a perfect rep. The most important aspect of a perfect rep, there's 2. One is that you are in full control of the weight at all times. The second is that you are able to maintain mind-muscle connection with the muscle group that you are targeting at all times. So if you get some body English going on your curls or whatever the movement is, as long as you are in control of that weight and you can feel the desired muscle group working, you're good. Structural and mechanical perfect form is going to help you to be injury-free, but also to target that muscle group to increase the odds of your mind-muscle connection or to increase the quality of your mind-muscle connection. So that's the new relationship to intensity. Now, what do you do with rest periods? Well, when you are operating within these frameworks, you are going to need much more rest than you're probably seeing programmed in whatever program you're looking at. With the bigger movements, the compound movements, they're invariably going to be heavier, more taxing on your central nervous system. So you need to take more time in between those sets. 3 minutes here, minimum, is going to be advisable. This is so that you can completely recover in order to give that necessary effort required to achieve the intensity that we were talking about on each of your subsequent sets. 3 minutes, bare minimum, 3 to 5 for the big stuff. Your incline bench press, your leg press, your squat. I don't do barbells at all, but you might be squatting. And then you want to take maybe a minute and a half for the isolation movements. The curls, in your tricep push downs, and the extensions, and the leg extensions. But you're always keeping that same intensity. So once the set is underway, that's when you really floor it. But it's only for that short amount of time. So if you do these things, if you redefine your relationship to intensity in this way, operate within these frameworks, and start feeling and exploring this for yourself, and then, of course, you stay consistent, right? You're not going to change your life or your body or your mindset in one session, in 2 sessions, and whatever. This takes time. But you're training your body because it's the thing that you carry through your entire life. So if you're going to be alive for who knows how long, and you're going to be training, implement one thing into your training that's going to help you to get way more out of it than you otherwise would. Become more efficient with your time, get better results, have a better life. Strong mind, strong voice, strong body. Let's go, y'all. Let me know if this is helpful for you, if you have any questions about this, if you have something specific, unique to your situation, or you want me to cover in a similar format some other topic that's interesting to you. Just let me know. Drop me a comment wherever you're seeing this. Tag me or find me on Instagram at Michael Hewitt 23. Later, y'all.